Welcome to today's episode, where we delve into the unfolding geopolitical dynamics in the Middle East, a region once again on the brink of significant upheaval. The recent deployment by the United States of a second aircraft carrier strike group to the area amplifies the already simmering tensions between Washington and Tehran. This escalation is not just a regional issue, but a development with potential global ramifications, warranting our close attention and careful analysis. To set the stage, let's understand the gravity of this military movement. The USS Gerald R. the world's largest aircraft carrier, is making its way from the Caribbean Sea to join the USS Abraham Lincoln, which is already stationed in the Middle East. The presence of two such formidable strike groups in one region underscores the United States' readiness to exert military pressure, a clear signal to Iran and a strategic positioning that cannot be ignored. This comes against the backdrop of increasing friction over Iran's nuclear program, a long-standing source of international tension. President Donald Trump's administration has made it clear that military action is an option should diplomatic efforts fail to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions. This stance has been echoed in Trump's recent warnings of very strong action should Iran resume executing jailed protesters. The timing of these developments is particularly telling, coinciding with indirect talks between U.S. and Iranian officials in Oman, signaling a period of heightened diplomatic activity and uncertainty. The deployment also aligns with Trump's broader foreign policy approach, which has reintroduced a hardline stance toward Iran. Since his return to the White House, Trump has adopted policies that pivot away from more conciliatory measures, opting instead for potential confrontation. This shift is part of a broader pattern of revived frictions, not only with Iran, but also with European allies over issues such as defense commitments and trade tariffs. Now, why does this matter on a global scale? The concentration of military assets in the Middle East by the United States could lead to significant geopolitical shifts. The presence of these two carrier strike groups, capable of launching extensive airstrikes, elevates the risk of direct confrontation with Iran, a nation often described as a nuclear threshold state. This military posture signals to Tehran the seriousness with which Washington views the current situation, while simultaneously raising the stakes for any miscalculations that might occur. Moreover, this escalation could strain transatlantic alliances, evidenced by the ongoing discussions at the Munich Security Conference. The potential for U.S. unilateral action in the region might further polarize Western unity, complicating collective defense efforts and diplomatic strategies. Allies are watching closely, concerned about the implications of such a significant military buildup. Central to this issue are Iran's nuclear ambitions and the associated regional instability. The lack of progress in negotiations and reports of accelerated nuclear enrichment activities by Iran have fueled U.S. concerns. Additionally, the internal unrest within Iran, highlighted by recent protests, adds another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. This internal turmoil, coupled with external pressures from countries like Israel, which has actively engaged with the U.S. on this matter, further complicates the geopolitical landscape. The implications of a failure in diplomatic negotiations are profound. Should the United States resort to military action against Iranian nuclear sites, the likelihood of retaliation is high. Iran could target U.S. assets, allies such as Israel, or disrupt crucial shipping lanes in the Strait of Hormuz, a key choke point for global oil transportation. Such actions could trigger a cascade of economic and security challenges, including spikes in energy prices and potential economic shocks worldwide. Additionally, this could embolden other actors in regional conflicts, exacerbating ongoing tensions in places like Yemen, Syria, and Lebanon. Domestically, this situation presents significant challenges for the Trump administration, already navigating complex issues such as service outages and contentious immigration policies. Internationally, the potential for alienating partners wary of unilateral U.S. military action is a real concern, as it risks undermining cooperative frameworks established to address global security threats. As we look ahead, the situation remains fraught with uncertainty. The precedent set by such a massive military deployment underscores the risks of miscalculation in a world where the margin for error is perilously thin. Even if diplomatic solutions prevail and de-escalation occurs, this episode highlights the fragile nature of international relations and the ease with which tensions can spiral into conflict. In conclusion, the deployment of these carrier strike groups to the Middle East is more than a tactical maneuver. It is a statement of intent by the United States, reflecting broader strategic goals and the complex interplay of regional and global politics. As we continue to monitor these developments, it is crucial to remain cognizant of the wider implications, recognizing the interconnected nature of today's global challenges. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive into a story that could very well shape the future of international security and stability. Stay informed, stay engaged, and until next time, take care.